Colonel Darcy Molstad, thank you for coming out today, and it's been a wonderful ceremony. And I wanted to show you the this special aluminium from 426 Squadron, our Halifax medal. It's been converted, and it's part of the biggest Bomber Command memorial in the world. So
it's incredible.
What do you think?
It's incredible. I mean, I think it's amazing that we have put a piece of Canada into some of these incredible memorials here in the UK. First with Green Park, with the ceiling having Halifax aluminum in it as well. This one here, prominently displayed in front of the spire. It's inspiring. I think it's probably apropos. It's great that we have a piece of Canada because we were so much part of Bomber Command with our own bomber group. It's incredible, and I certainly honor the service of those that came before us.
Sure, and you know what I was thinking was really cool? World War I, our Canadian boys have Vimy Ridge, and now here we are on a ridge in Lincoln.
I know.
And this becomes our, you and me, this becomes our Air Force Vimy Ridge.
I agree. I agree with you. It's a good parallel that you make. In fact, just a week and a half ago, I was standing on the ridge at Vimy. I went there with my family to show my wife and my 2 children. I'd been there once before myself, but it's important to see that part of your history and to pass it down through the generations.
Right.
And I think that there are a lot of parallels to be had. It was a short battle, Vimy, but it was very costly.
Right.
The bomber battle and campaign was a very long battle and campaign, but it was also very costly.
Yeah.
And so I think that the parallels are there, and this is the Air Force Ridge. This is where we can come in order to honor all those that served and died and were injured or have lasting injuries from that conflict.
Sure. And you know what? I think it's wonderful that we could have Halifax medal here because your old alma mater, your 425 Alouette Squadron, that's all they flew was Halifaxes in combat.
Yeah.
So this is a wonderful representation because we're here at Bomber Command, and yes, a Halifax is here with us.
It is, and the Halifax was the workhorse, as you know. I mean, everybody loves the Lancaster. It's the aircraft that everybody loves to hear as it does the flyovers.
Right.
But Halifax was a workhorse, and 425, the Alouettes. I was just inside speaking to another veteran, and it's amazing. A lot of RAF veterans served in Canadian crews. And a lot of their family members grabbed me and said, I see a Canadian, I want you to come over and meet my father. He served in a Canadian crew, and he still talks very highly of his experience. So, Canada is a part of the RAF. The RAF is a part of Canada, and we were a big part of the war, both war efforts.
Great. Well, thanks for coming out, and
it's great to be here.
I wanted to show you our joint treasure.
Thank you for your generosity and for the initiative that you took to make this happen. I think it's incredible. It's
been very gratifying over the years.
Yeah, it is, and it's for a great cause, and thank you very much for everything that you're doing.
For our Bomber Boys.
That's right, for the Bomber Boys.
Right on.
Thank you.
Very kind.
So
thanks
Karl
for all you've done.
Is one of the directors, as I mentioned, with the BCMC, the Bomber Command Museum of Canada in Nanton, Alberta, which is now the second biggest Bomber Command Museum, I guess, or commemoration, because this is now the biggest in the world.
It's not the fight in the dog; it's a dog in the fight.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
We're trying to save the history.
Well, I know your work in the recovery of the Halifax was quite a miraculous effort, and I know some of the aluminum you've provided here.
Right, and you know what happened, sir? We got the 3 guys out that were missing in action. We gave them back to their families, and then we had this mini mountain of RCAF Halifax crushed aluminium, and we were within 5 minutes of we're going to sell this to the scrap merchant, and we sat down for a minute and said, wait a minute. Somewhere, someday,
it'll have value.
Somebody will want this precious metal for a statue, plaque, or memorial. So you can imagine my whole team is so gratified that we could bring this Halifax medal here from the RCAF and make it part of the biggest Bomber Command memorial in the world.
Well, I think you feel the sort of the spiritual kind of vibe when you're here, but the fact that we've got a Canadian piece of aluminum that touches Canadian aircrew, I think is pretty profound. So I know your contribution was similar to the site downtown London in Green Park. So I think it's wonderful. It's a great touch.
So, come on over and I'll show you this panel. And here's the aluminium here. It's been converted, melted down, and changed into a panel. And there we have LW682 426 Squadron, Thunderbird Squadron. And I talked with Dean Black and Richard Main, and I said, you know what, it's really cool because Vimy Ridge is our Army memorial from World War I.
That's right.
But guess what? A ridge in Lincoln is going to become our Air Force Vimy Ridge.
Absolutely.
And I kind of like that. But how do you feel about this Bomber Command Memorial Ceremony today? And the RCAF is all a part of that.
Oh yeah, no, I think it's wonderful, real inspiration to be here, and I think as well as I do the contribution and the sacrifice that Canadians made for the cause. You look simply at the number that we lost in the fight, 10,000 Canadians out of 58,000 loss.
Right.
It's really hard to kind of imagine that context. And when I talk to my children, we were a nation of about 11 million Canadians in the mid-40s, and 1 million Canadians served during the war. So, so this is a special part of the history, undoubtedly. The stand-up of our 6th bomber group and the 15 squadrons that were subordinate to that formation, and of course many of those squadrons we were proud to still have in our RCF today. I served in 408 Squadron
cool.
2 times, so so I feel very connected to that past, and I think this site will be wonderful in many ways.
We want to work with your command, the Bomber Command Museum and Halifax 57 Rescue. We found 2 more Halifaxes underwater. One is 405 Pathfinder Squadron Halifax, and the other one is an RAF Halifax. But in the coming days, we'd love to work with you just as we've worked with Lieutenant General Hood in the past. And we want to save this history, and we want to share it with all your guys and all your commands. So we're looking forward to working with you, sir.
I'm very proud, Karl, the work you've done. I mean, it's a key part of our institution, right? Reflecting on our history and our heritage. So the work that you're doing is really key. So I look forward to supporting you 100%.